What's up, Pisces? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an awesome week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your shares, all that good stuff. And for those of you who are new, you are in for an awesome journey. I'm happy to see you here. Now, what's going to be happening is I'm going to be doing a tarot card reading for the week of October 16th through the 22nd. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with that being said, let's jump into it. Space is cleansed, the vibes are good. We're ready, Pisces. I'm going to be pulling 15 cards. It's going to be 5 groups of 3. The middle group is going to represent the nature of your problem. The upper left and upper right hand corner are going to be some possible future outcomes you could be considering. The bottom left is going to represent some perspectives to consider in relationship to the nature of the problem. And the bottom right is going to be any messages that your higher self would like you to know. And if you're curious, I'm using Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. The art on these cards are really cool, so I'll be sure to show you those throughout. But that being said, higher self, what do we have in store for Pisces this week? Let's see what's happening. All right. Nice. Ho-ho. On a journey. Okay. Oh, okay. Bam. Oh, there you are. I think it's the second time you showed up for yourself. I love it. All right. Let's get these cards organized, and then we'll get into it. All right, Pisces. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So, for the nature of your problem, I pulled the 3 of Wands. And then the cards that came with it are the Star and the 2 of Wands. So with the 3 of Wands, I feel like the nature of your problem this week is you're trying to figure out where to channel your energy. You're trying to figure out what I feel like you hold. What do you consider virtuous? You know, what holds near and dear to your heart? You know, where do you want to, you know, some of you might be, whether you're channeling this energy into a new project or maybe this into a relationship or into like wherever you want to channel this energy. I feel like you're trying to figure out what holds, you know, what do you consider like good values for you? You know, what's going to make you feel fulfilled is what I'm getting with this 3 of Wands energy. And I like that the Star card is here too, because this is my card of hope. You know, the Star, that's what that represents. It's a thing of hope, spiritual, even, you know, spiritual insight, you know, I love the Star, you know, and I feel like this is also here to remind you, you know, of what a star you are, and that's good that, you know, you are thinking about where you want to channel your energy into this, because I feel like with the Star card, you know, this is, the fact that you're hopeful, because that's what I feel like with this is here, you know, this is saying that you're a star, Pisces, and and that's something to be hopeful about. You know, if I know that I'm shining, it's only a matter of time before, oh, of course the sun wouldn't be here this time. It's been popping up everywhere else. But, you know, I'm going to go for that star and then eventually evolve into that sun. You know, but right now, look at this girl. She's making her own world back here. Gems are falling out of her pocket. If anything, you know, I feel like things are looking up for you, Pisces. You know, I think you're starting to get some clarity. She can also represent that, you know, like she's manifesting what she wants. So, you know, she's like, you know, we're hard at work here. The Star card could also represent like unexpected help, you know. So maybe this is, you know, help comes in the funniest of ways. It could be maybe it's through your this tarot card reading that you happen to watch. I wouldn't know his name, but you know, it could be whatever that hope is. I feel like you're in a good space right now. You know, just hang on to that hope, because you're getting to that balanced energy. This Two of Wands, this is Mars and Aries, so this energy is right at home. And I feel like that's where you're getting to. You're going to get to this place gotten that, once you've gotten that what am I trying to say here? There's a specific word that I'm looking for, but we're just gonna, well, since they're giving me the word, I guess I won't look that hard. Find what you hold virtuous to you, because I feel like that's gonna help you get this Two of Wands energy. Find that balance, that harmony, because that's what this is about. This is like fire at its purest. So once you get here, you can spread that out and establish your dominion, if you will. You can go start creating planets, and again, I would love that. If your problem went from being where to channel that energy to gems falling out of your pocket, I'm all for that, Pisces. So I feel like with this week, the nature problem this week is just to stay hopeful. I know the nature is here, but I more so want to emphasize this hope. I feel like, you keep that going strong, everything's going to line up as it should. Because look at this. This is really nice. And this is the sun in Aries. So, I love it. I'm all for it. I don't think that this needs to be harped on too long. I will, however, let's move on to the future. Since I was emphasizing hope, I'm kind of glad I did, because let's start on this upper left hand corner here. So for some of you, maybe where depending on where your headspace is at, this might be where some of you might be dealing with. You have the Five of Discs here, the Three of Swords, and there you are, the Moon card. So before I start talking about you, with these cards, in any kind of card that in tarot that might be considered like a negative card, I like to think of them more as these are cards that are inviting us to promote mindfulness in our lives. There's like kind of shine lights on areas we might be neglecting, and so that we can come in compassionately, kind of address these issues, because they're I feel like if it's one of those things, if you ignore these, just like, oh, I don't got time to be sad right now and all this stuff, I'm gonna be hopeful, I'm gonna blah blah blah. That's good. But if you ignore these things, then they start to fester. Then they become these insurmountable beasts, and you just have to do that much more work. So I feel like for some of you, you're dealing with some worry. The Five of Discs, in particular, being a disc, disc can represent business matters, financial things, and everything in that wheelhouse. Some of you might be worried about some monetary stress. Maybe where bills might be behind, maybe we're paying credit cards with other credit cards. Judgment-free zone, Pisces, been there. We're trying to, we're rising out of that. But I really feel like whatever this Five of Discs, that is, this anxiety, this worry, this is causing, I feel like this is really contributing to this Three of Swords energy. And it could be a whole separate thing in itself too. But I'm feeling more so that this, usually when one thing starts, like the seed starts here, and then, misery loves company. So look at that. Five, just like, yo, three, get over here. Wow. If only they were that exciting to maybe feel less down. But I feel like with this Three of Swords, you're out of balance. This is Saturn in Libra, and, Saturn's like that adult that likes to kind of brings down the broom sometimes. And good intentions, ultimately good intentions, but it's just like, man, I was feeling good. Now you got me feeling some kind of way. And the thing with these, if this is pertaining to, if these are, kind of holding hands, my advice with that, or and take it as you will. This is this is not me telling you what to do. Tarot is supposed to be for loose guidance, but something that might kind of help alleviate some of this stress is, when you get in these moments of like worry, anxiety, apprehension, things of like that, usually it has to deal with the future. I'm not worried about the past, because that shit's already happened. That's behind me. But when you're worried in that future, because you don't know where it's, we're all kind of, we're playing it moment by moment. So it's like, that's, you can paint this really crazy picture, of your future, but that's hold that thought, because that in itself is your power, Pisces, because that you do have the power to paint your future by living in the present, coming back to now, remembering, what you hold virtuous, and holding on to that hope, because and you'll see that, as you're focusing on now, and you'll realize that, like, okay, this stuff hasn't, it's not necessarily to push this behind you. If bills aren't due till like the end of the month, oh, that's for end of the month me to worry about. Today's me still has some, like, I have laundry to do. Dishes are accumulating, got to go to work. There are other things that can be dealt with. I got to factor in some self-care into this, This is just all of that is to say, and then we're gonna move on. Move on to talking about you some more. All that is to say that the future is a product of what we make right now. So, maybe this is a time to, and if these are two separate things, I feel like deal with them as they come. If this is something that you can put off, that can wait until, whenever it pops up, prioritize them, but definitely give them the space so that you can heal properly. And let's go ahead and bring you into the mix here, because maybe that'll kind of help bring this all home. Because with the moon card here, the moon card represents illusions, deceptions, that, like, mysteries and all of that. And I feel like with these, I'm feeling more so with the moon here. It's these deceptions that you're telling yourself. It's these mystery things, like, oh, maybe what's preventing you from doing this is these doubts. Maybe you're worried, like, you want to start a project, and it's like, well, what if I don't make enough money? Is this going to support me? Or maybe it's something that's going to require you where you have to shift careers, and you might not feel sad about it, but maybe other people are like, well, I thought you wanted to do this. Like, you were so happy. Let's say you're a doctor. It's like, oh, you're so happy to be a doctor. What do you mean you want to be an artist? Like, you're gonna lose all your money and blah 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 blah. Stop that. No, that's all noise. What do you want? What is going to hold virtue to you? Because with you being here, the moon is about, it also invites us to tackle the unknown. This is, you would think, looking at that image that I was painting you, yeah, it's like two dogs. You can look at these Anubis figures as, like gatekeepers that are going to keep you out. Like, the second you get in here, they're going to, like, attack you. Or these guys could be holding the door open for you. They want you to get to this moon card. They want you to get to yourself, Pisces. Why would they stop you from getting to yourself? And I feel like once you get out of this illusionary state of that, just that mentality, and because it's not to say that your problems aren't real, but there are healthier ways to go about tackling them. I feel like once you kind of start showing yourself some compassion, and really start really, it's hard to tackle these when you're in a negative headspace. The only way you can't beat negativity with more negativity. It's time to bring some positivity in here. It's time to bring some of that hope in there. Bring some of that virtue. Let's lighten this up a little bit, so that this is becoming less, so that we can, that this is becoming less mysterious, so that we can go ahead and tackle what new opportunities are coming for you. Because the moon card can also represent voluntary change. And I feel like with you showing up here for yourself, Pisces, it's about time for some change. You've been stuck in this rut for however long. Don't you want to feel better? Because I want you to feel better, Pisces. So, yeah, I feel like with some of you, that's gonna be, it's gonna take some work. But I do feel like, once it starts with that mentality shift, in realizing that the only way we can control the future is through the present. You can stress about the future, but that's just gonna, five of discs, 3 of swords. They love that shit. They love when you're stewing in it, just like, oh my gosh, everything is so impossible. Oh yeah, they'll eat that shit up for lunch every day. But if you start serving up some happiness, like, oh well, you know what? Yeah, this sucked. But I got to get out of bed. Let's go ahead. Maybe I'll just that little things, just getting excited. I was telling, who was it? Gemini. I was telling Gemini, don't go out and find little pockets of sunshine. I hate the sun didn't pop up here, but I'm going to give you some sun. I'm going to take the suns from all these other ones, and I'm throwing some sunshine your way, Pisces. take this moment to, bring some light back in your life. I know as it can be hard too. As water signs in general. I'm a Cancer, but water signs. We really can take on the emotions and stuff, and really kind of really just sometimes just really get kind of stuck in that. We really when we feel, man, we feel, but keep that in mind that where that could come be looked at as a weakness, but I feel like that's one of our best strengths is that we can take that energy and we can mold that to however we need to. Take the lessons from here and then put in growth, kind of clean out that ocean a little bit. So hopefully that resonates with some of you. Now, on this other side here, these are some interesting energies here. For another future option, this upper right-hand side, I pulled the Fool, the Princess of Cups, and the Princess of Wands. So, with the Fool here, the Fool is definitely about just going about, it's starting that journey, let's start that telling ourselves nice things, getting out of being more present, it might be, and that might be something to help get into that, maybe it's time to start up something new, get in, take that Three of Wands, go do something with it. Maybe, might be time to just like shake shit up a little bit. But either way, with this Fool here, he's super eager to get, to start whatever's coming coming his way. He knows along the lines, yeah, we're going to run into some Three of Swords, we're going to run into some Five of Discs, but in his picture, this tiger would be the Three of Swords, this alligator would be the Five of Discs, and he's jumping out, or at least they're jumping out full steam ahead, like, heck yeah, look at this journey. Because look at all these rainbows in here too. Look at how bright everything is. Is that a butterfly? It's like taking a second to appreciate those small things. And look at that. Your world is just colored in a way that's, we're not thinking about this anymore. We've grown from this. And I like that the Princess of Cups here is, I like that both princesses are here. Because really what I'm feeling with, we'll start with the Princess of Cups. She's a very generous figure, and I feel like this is more so saying the energy that she's bringing is to be generous to yourself, to give, I feel like maybe you're the type that likes to, you give, you pour yourself out there, but you don't give enough, you don't save a little bit for yourself, and I feel like that's what she's here for. Be generous to yourself, and I know that might sound a little selfish, but it's more so in the fact that, think of it this way. If you're running on E and then someone's asking you to give them a lift, what are you gonna do with that? You can't get anywhere because you don't have any more gas. So I feel like with her, she's asking you just to be as generous with yourself as you are with others. And then with the Princess of Wands showing up here, I think that or at least I feel that she's here to just like normally she's like my firecracker card. She's like a double-edged sword. She's real ambitious and go-getting. I love the energy that she brings, but sometimes she can come across as a little reckless. There's a more significant meaning for her being naked and all this. It's like her welcoming all this energy and going out there and just being prideful. And I like that energy. I think that you should be confident in what you do and approach it with that excitement. Approach wanting to get happy and, find something that's virtuous to you. Approach that with that almost like, like that, almost like that when you find something that you're just really passionate about and you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to pour all my all into it. That's what I feel like she's inviting us to do here. And do it with some pride, because she's not concerned. All she's like, yo, check out me rocking this hat. You see, oh, my tiger asleep? Well, I'm going to turn him into a cape. And then, don't even look at him. Look at my wand. I love her energy. Is very playful too. So I feel like that can be also a thing too, come at it with some fun, how I was like, hey, Three of Discs, you want to come, or Three of Discs, hey, whomever you are, you want to come over here? He's wallowing in this Five of Discs moment right now, and it's like, no, come at this, wanting to get better with yourself. Hope that made sense. Come at this issue with that kind of that Princess of Wands mentality, sort of like this is something exciting. You know, you're getting out of this funk, and now we're gonna go out and get your fire back. You know, get that drive that I know you have, Pisces, and that you know you have. So yeah, treat it with that. I love these two. No, I love that. I really like that. You know, really, I'm getting this like, just really am just go out and do it. You know, whatever that looks like, just go do it. You know, just anything to make you feel better, and that's what I mean by it. Go do the thing that's gonna make you feel better. That's gonna give you that fulfillment. You know, that's going to that's gonna get you to this abundance and stuff down here. I hadn't had a chance to really look. We got some good stuff going down here, Pisces. So, how are we feeling about that future? I'm thinking that future seems pretty solid. I won't beat that to death. We'll keep it moving. They'll yell at me if we need something else. Okay, so with some perspectives to consider in relation to the problem, I pulled the Three of Cups. Oh, let's get centered there. Three of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. This pretty much writes itself, Pisces. This is about finding that abundance. You know, I feel like really, you know, this is you. Think of it as any kind of cup, cup thing going on. I like to think of it as, you know, think of it, this center pillar is you. You know, and once you pour that cup, and these wires are coming out of this center stuff here. Once you've nourished yourself, everything spills over, and then this abundance just happens naturally. But it's just how when you're channeling that energy into these negative things, how they can spiral into this really big thing. The beautiful part of it is that can happen with abundance too. And, you know, abundance in the sense, like, you know, cups have to deal with, or they can deal with emotional matters. And what better way, you know, fill those emotional cups, you know, get into that good headspace, you know. And I feel like with Mercury being in Cancer, you know, I feel like this is kind of saying to you too, Mercury is about communication. And I feel like this is, you know, telling your, you know, this is this card telling you that be kinder to yourself. Again, you know, really be just as generous with yourself as you are with others. Come with that Princess of Cups mentality when it comes to yourself, and really you're going to see things flourish. And I think once and I say I think just because the swords probably, you got a couple of swords here, and swords are about thinking matters. I feel like with this Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords here, this is like, once you realize that, it's not only going to be, because the Ace of Swords is the root of air. You know, my aces are like the seeds. You know, I like to think of them as, you know, you're planting this idea. You're planting this Three of Cups so that you can get this, once you get to that clarity, it's going to channel into abundance. Because usually the Ace of Swords for me, this is like my, with great power comes great responsibility card, and that does apply too. Because if you're feeding your ace with this mentality, then that's all you're gonna get is just sorrow. But start feeding it with that abundance, man. We're gonna eventually get to that Ten of Cups energy. You know, we're getting to the universe. We're getting all that. The sun will pop out. And I really think that you're getting that too. With this Queen of Swords energy here. The queens in the deck, the queens and the princes in this deck, I don't think you got any princes. No, the queens and princes can represent people as well. This is Libra's, is this Libra's card? Yeah, this is one of Libra's cards. But it can represent people too. Could be a Libra, could be another, could be a water sign, another air sign. The queens they represent the watery part of whatever suit they are. But regardless, she is known as the liberator of the mind. You know, and that's no joke there. She literally got ahead here. I like to, or at least how I've liked to been pitching her here as of late. She's sitting on this cloud of this throne of clouds. So she can't be weighed down by stuff. I mean, hell, she even left her shirt. Everyone's leaving their clothes. But can you imagine trying to sit on a throne of clouds with Three of Swords weighing on your mind? And you want to throw five of disc on that? She's gonna fall, and she ain't got time for that. Look at this. She's letting everybody know, I'm not the one. And as far as like with these mentalities, you know, we're going to see you for what you are, and we're going to deal with them. Um, because otherwise she can become that, you know, if she is stewing in that. Because if I fell off my throne and I had my dagger, I'm going to start taking actual heads. And that's not what we want here. She wants to, she's really, she comes across very masculine, but she's really, actually, she's very pretty. It's just that I feel like sometimes when you get wrapped up in these thoughts, it's just like it's trying to find that balance again. But that's what she's there for. When she pops up, you're getting that clarity. And I feel like once you plant that abundant seeds, and bam, we're gonna get to that Queen of Swords energy, to that where you know what's virtuous to you. You've taken that hope, you've become that star, and now we can go out and do that journey again. We can jump. We can go with this with some. With that, oh, I shouldn't have put him away. With that ambition, with that drive, with that, you want to do something, that passion. If I feel like that's, maybe that's what's been missing, just that fire to do something again, So, got a little excited now. I don't know where everything is. Okay. But that's, I feel like that's okay with the mental aspects of it. So, just come at it. Keep that abundance in mind. That's to wrap that all up. Keep your abundance in mind, and I really feel like that's going to help you get to this Queen of Swords energy, where these two are done knocking on your door. They're like, oh, she ain't got time for that. And again, that's, it's not too. Let me emphasize just before we move on. I don't want to say that. Don't ignore these things, but definitely see them for what they are. It's future worries. We need to be right now. Right now, she's worried about this baby on her head. She's worried about her crown. That's where she's worried about, her crown and her throne and everything around her. These clouds around her can represent a storm, a brewing, but she's not. She sees it for what it is, and she's on top of these clouds. She's dominating this. So keep that in mind. Hopefully that resonates with, really I want to resonate with all of you, but hopefully some of you, that resonates, okay? Let's move on to what your higher self wants you to know, because maybe he'll make a little more sense than I am. with the messages that your higher self wants to know, and I like his message too. The higher self has... Wow, let's try that again. So for what your higher self wants you to know, I pulled the Emperor, the Seven of Swords, and the Nine of Discs. What do you want me to say about this, Pisces? You're a boss. Who did I just tell this? Sagittarius. I just told Sagittarius the same thing. Bossy. A lot of bosses going around here, but for some of you, I feel like we're not realizing that. You are the boss. And I'm gonna say it one more time. Boss. All right, that's enough. But, well, really, it's never enough. I feel like your future self is just trying to remind you of just how awesome you are. You have the energy here. You're represented by the moon, Pisces. You're a mystery. You're, I personally, I love Pisces. And I feel like you need to love Pisces too. Love yourself. Love you for the emperor that you are. Because we don't want to be in this Seven of Swords mentality. Because Seven of Swords to me it's usually kind of like it's like my burnout card, but it kind of can apply to this. Think of this as, you got this main sword here, that's you, and then you have all these outside influences, and it's like I feel like they're just like chipping away, and this is not normally what this card means. This is normally a card, like I said, for burnout. Just like anything that feels futile, where your head, when you're channeling mental energy where it isn't meant to be, that's futile, but here I'm more so feeling it's like these swords here are kind of like these moments of mindfulness here. It's just like they're chipping away at you. And if you let them, they're just gonna keep chipping. They're gonna keep chipping. But when you look in the grand scheme of things, when you take the mystery away from it, you're the biggest sword out of these ones. These ones can't hold a candle to you. These are little. These are not emperor problems. The emperor is not even bothered by this. he sees them, and then we're refining that sword. It's just like, yo, this is the moon in Aquarius, so it's just like, Aquarius is all about, they know these things, and this is what I feel like here. This is like, you definitely know, Pisces, that this stuff here, it's not permanent. It's not gonna last forever, because proof is in the cards. Nine of discs. You're gaining something. This is like, through this hard work that you've put in yourself, holding on to that hope, getting that clarity. Now we're reaping the rewards. Coming with that ambition. Starting that journey. Now we're reaping those rewards. This is a great card. I feel like, what if I saw this at the end of my journey, I was like, oh, good, okay. I was worried this was all for nothing, but see, look at where we're at. Now we're back at positivity again, and you're sitting up there, all happy. Look at this Emperor and all his gains. So that's really that's is there anything else? I think it's probably safe to transition back over, Pisces. Oh, that wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be. But life isn't always that smooth. Sometimes you got to, again, last time, we got to figure out, where we're going to channel this energy and such. Let's take this time to just kind of be in the moment, and take it for all of it, the beautiful and the not so beautiful, Pisces. I hope the message is getting across, because I don't want to force it. I don't think I'm going to force it. Well, I couldn't force it if I wanted to, but hopefully this serves you some purpose. Let's be present with me. Let's I'll do this right there with you. Let's that's something. Yeah. You know what? No, when you are taking a moment of mindfulness, no, I'm being right there with you. When we get just this word salad is all for me to just say, let's get take this time for yourself, really address these, because once you do, it's going to be really cool, Pisces. I don't know, this is it's a very interesting reading. I feel like I want more from you, but maybe I don't need to force it, because you already know these things. You just needed someone to verify. So take this as your verification. It's all good, Pisces. I believe in you. So yeah, we're leaving it there. Thank you for sticking through that. I didn't realize I was opening a word salad bar, but hopefully in that mess, you did get something out of this. Because I'm feeling good about this, Pisces. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and for a clear picture of what's going on with you, check your moon, check your rising, and maybe check your Venus. See where your Venus placement is at this week. I feel like what better way to deal with these moments of mindfulness than to get to know yourself a little bit better. That I feel like that helps. Definitely feel like that helps you. Words. Okay. Yeah. It'll help you get a better idea of yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Man. All right. You know what? I'm gonna take some tea, and then we're going to jump into Celestial News Weekly. Sorry for that. Even the cat jumped. So that's how I know you might have got the win for the most obnoxious celestial introduction. So with Celestial News Weekly, this week we are going. We're gonna start over. On October 17th is the last quarter moon, and this is a time of transitions, letting things go, things come to completion. You know what? I'm leaving all those times that I fumbled, leaving them behind. I could be like, oh gosh, Pisces is going to think that. And you know what, Pisces, you're allowed to think whatever you want, but no, I'm going to keep coming back, because that's what we do, Pisces. We're going to keep coming back. You come back for if you keep showing up for you, I'm gonna keep showing up for me and for you. And we're in this thing. But this is the last quarter moon is about letting go and kind of taking responsibilities for our mistakes, whatever those looks like, and I don't like this imbalance. There we go, and for our accomplishments. So, definitely take that time for yourself. I really, and that's kind of tying in nicely too with the next thing I'm gonna talk about, because I was really retrograde heavy last week, and it was a little lighter this week. If you're not familiar with this planet that I'm about to talk about, it's Chiron. And Chiron is, for your history buffs, it was discovered in 1977. But it was originally classified as an asteroid and then was later reclassified as a minor planet. Its orbit goes between Saturn and Uranus, and it's known as, its effects are for like dealing with trauma. So whatever five of disc, 3 of swords moment, that's where Chiron is coming in. This is that time to, it's named after, hold on, before we jump into that, just some random facts. Chiron is named after the Greek, from the centaur from the Greek myth, trained Hercules, Achilles, so knows his shit. But when it's in retrograde, it'll be in retrograde till the 23rd of December. This is a time of catharsis, really doing some internal healing, addressing what is this that really got you down, and, giving it that space, nurturing that, because when you deal with these things and really, kind of air them out, it's going to make you a better person from it. So, keep that in mind when, while this retrograde is still in effect. And just some random facts, just because this has to do with, especially with you. Chiron, oddly enough, normally stays in signs on an average of 4 years, but for Libra and Virgo, and we're gonna look this up as the news progresses. But in Virgo and Libra, it only stays in the signs for like 1 or 2 years. But in the case of Aries and yourself, it'll stay in your signs for like 7 to 8 years. So, this is really some time, like, Chiron's there for you. Chiron's like, when you need that extra love, this is me rubbing you, this is me patting you on the back, Pisces. When Chiron is, well, this is Chiron patting you on the back. That would be weird. When Chiron is, there, it's like, it's okay, Pisces. It's all good. You got this. I don't know why I feel like you're so down. It's just with these energies coming next to each other, I just want to make sure that, like, you good, Pisces. You good? We good? It's all good. Lastly, 2 more things. Since the news has been a little light this week, when that happens, I'm going to start introducing aspects. And that's just how planets relate to each other in space. And the effects that have, because they do have effects. It's eerie. It's almost how, not eerie, it's really cool actually, how this stuff kind of affects you. First, you have the sun trine with Mars. And all that means is that you got this impetus, this, like, you feel this drive to just do stuff, and to be trine, imagine this, it's to when the planets they're within like 120 degrees, imagine this is 120 degrees, but yeah, that's whatever that distance is, and it's a little more complex than that, but that ends on the 26th, if I didn't mention that. But this is, definitely that time. What better time, channel that energy somewhere. You got, we figured out we figured it out. Let's go and conquer some things. Let's go ahead and get our throne of clouds. Yeah. Yeah. Hang with me. We're almost done. Lastly, Venus is square in Pluto. And that just means 90 degrees. Imagine this is 90. And that ends on the 25th. And this more so is about being aware of any sort of like discord or dissonance in relationships, whether that be with a partner, with friends, family, however that looks. Just being aware that, this is, those kind of things might be coming to light, Maybe set aside some space if something's been getting on your nerves with a particular person this week. Just like, instead of just like, hey, you suck. Maybe like let's come with a, is there any way that yeah, just like that, yo, is there any way that I've offended you this week, or that is there something that I've done that you didn't like this week? And, you know, I feel like you'll be surprised that, you know, when challenged with someone, like, ask something like that in a safe space, it's just like, oh, okay, I hadn't thought about that. Have I done? And then reciprocity happens, and then, you know, it makes just this really beautiful moment. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Pisces. Yeah, I really hope this resonated with you. Hopefully, you know, you were in that buffet of yeah, that really salad buffet. Hopefully there was some good wisdom that you got out of there. So as a reward for sticking through me to the end, I'm gonna pull one card at the bottom. Excuse me. 10 of disc. Look at that. See? I told you it was worth it. 10 of disc. This is Bay. This card is what the universe is to the major arcana. This is to like the common cards. You know, we are looking for that 10 of disc. We want that abundance, that wealth, whatever that looks like for you. This is shaped in the tree of life. I mean, come on. That's dope. So yeah, I'm leaving it. Have a great rest of your week, Pisces. I will see you on the next one. Yeah. Later.